Hi everyone and welcome back. So many of you have this vision of what a doctor, in your minds, what a doctor looks like, what they sound like, where they come from, what kind of education they've had. We then compare ourselves, and what can then happen is when we compare our background, our age, our financial status, the occupation that our parents may do, we then stop ourselves because we feel that we don't fit in to that stereotype. And that could have devastating consequences on our choices in life because we don't feel worthy, we don't feel good enough to then move forward in applying to medical school because we don't think that we fit in to that specific box, that criteria that you probably think medical schools are looking for. And I'm here to tell you, as a 40-year-old non-traditional medical student, that that's just not the case at all. Now, I know that when you look on YouTube for medical students, there are many medical students that come from very privileged backgrounds. They are quite well off. They have been to private schools. They have received, lots of offers for medical schools. They got all A stars at A levels. And then we kind of sit back and we think, well, if I am not exactly like that, then I won't be able to get into medical school. So today's video is, first of all, to try to put your mind at ease a little bit and to say that that is not the norm. I would say 70% of medical students will have that kind of background and will be in very fortunate positions where they have that support and they are in their 20s when they finish studying. But there are also so many medical students like myself who have had a really non-traditional journey into medical school at a later age. And I think it's really important to remember what skills we bring to the table as older students or as non-traditional students. So I want to first of all say to you that if you're watching other medical students on YouTube, whether in the UK or in America or in Australia, wherever, it doesn't really matter, and you're comparing yourself and you think that in order to get into medical school and in order to become a doctor and a great doctor, you have to be a certain way that probably looks like, very well spoken and very well off and extremely academic, and a person who does lots of lab work and writes up these theses and teaches on the side and who scores 80,000 on their UCAT, you really don't have to meet that criteria in order to become a great doctor. You just have to have heart and be willing to work really hard and be willing to sacrifice what you have potentially now in order to go to medical school. You don't have to have thousands of pounds in the bank to start this journey. You just have to be willing to work alongside the degree. You don't have to be super academic. You just have to be willing to work really hard, perhaps even harder than some of the most academic students on the course, in order to understand and learn the content. You don't have to have parents who are doctors. You just have to want to become a doctor and want that more than anything that you've ever wanted before, and know that perhaps, like myself, this is your calling, this is your life purpose. You don't have to start medical school when you're 18 or 19 years old. You can start medical school at whatever age you like. I have one of my really good friends who is 59 years old and he's in his second year at medical school. I'm 40, I'll be 41 when I qualify as a doctor. And I wouldn't have been able to do this at a younger age. I just wouldn't have had the resilience and the discipline and the life experiences that I've needed to become resilient and really hardworking. So I'm here to reassure you today that if you're looking outside of yourself for perhaps confirmation or reassurance that you are the kind of person that can be a doctor or that can go to medical school, try not to look outside for that reassurance. Try to look inwards. Listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. And if you have that niggling feeling, that niggle that is telling you that you are meant to be a doctor, then you are meant to be a doctor. Do not listen to fear. Do not listen to people on YouTube. Do not listen to people in your circle that may be telling you that you can't do this. Shut out the noise and just listen to your intuition. Because if your intuition is telling you to apply to medical school, I guarantee you any obstacle that comes your way during your degree, you will be able to overcome because it's your purpose. So I wanted to give you those few words of motivation today. I guarantee that there is nothing you can't overcome. Nothing, whether it's financial or academic. There is nothing. As if it's your purpose, you will find a way. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope that these few words have kind of given you a bit of motivation and a bit of reassurance that you are so worthy. You are so worthy of going to med school if that's something that you really want to do. And don't let anybody or anything get in the way of that dream. Sending you lots of love from the UK. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Just never give up on your dreams. Never. The world needs you. Have a good day.